design thinking phase. So initially we came up with questions as a group that we had about this, our original question, which was, um, um, how do parents support students with school at home? And then we had to come up with some questions that we got some feedback on from our professors, Dr. Liu and Dr. Ward. Sorry, Professor Liu and Dr. Ward. And we just went off of the, the support they gave us and continued on to our survey question to kind of fine tune those questions as a group. We met twice. Each of us uh, we decided to assign each of us a group. So as you can see, that's how the groups were assigned. And then what we did together, we met twice and we decided to work on the different parts. The first time we met, we discussed the what we thought we knew about the parents, and we just kind of bulleted the important information to get us started and to try to figure out what it is that we needed to find out more about. Um, then we decided to go ahead and push through and go and start our questions. As you can see, this was created by, this is our visual that was created by Roxanne. And it kind of just helps us focus in on the objective and our purpose for a design thinking process. We came up with the survey questions together. Each of us came up with different questions, and we kind of helped each other fine tune the questions and word them in a way that would help us gather the information that we would need to support the design thinking question, which is, again, and we actually recopied and pasted down here to make sure that we understood and reminded ourselves of what it is that we were focusing on. And as you can see, we came up with various questions. For the first two groups, we came up with for 12 for the first group and a total of 15 for the second group. We decided to overlap some of the questions because some of those were applicable to one group but not applicable to the other. So some of them, they overlap, so we're going to ask both groups, and some we will only ask a certain group because we feel like it would give us information that the questions are worded in a way that are specific, some of them only for a specific group. And the same thing for the highly involved students and the very limited non-involved students. The questions are, at this point, not in the order that we would ask them. We're going to go ahead and tweak them and move around so they're more relevant. And we pretty much worked very, very hard on this part because we feel like this was the foundation to make sure that we get the interpretation phase going and make it more purposeful, and then get our project going in the right direction. So again, we concluded the design thinking phase part 2. So we are going to go ahead and continue with design thinking phase part 3 this week, and then we'll go into interpretation stage. So again, as far as my individual contribution to this week was just, again, getting together as a group and supporting the wording of the questions, coming up with the questions, and creating those survey questions for all three of the different groups where we're going to be interviewing, which are parents, students, and the experts. The challenges for the group, just kind of setting up those times to meet because it was hard. Everybody has busy schedules, and just trying to come together and set that time aside to meet was a little bit challenging. And then really wording the questions themselves to make them purposeful to us. They did take a bit of a chunk of time from our meetups. I think next time what I would suggest that we do differently is let's just set time aside and then really break up the work so it doesn't take us as long to finish certain work. That way it'll streamline and push us to get to the other part of the project a little bit faster. But again, I feel like it'll just support us in just speeding up the process because the way we spent it really was purposeful in that it gave us the questions that will help us get the information. So as an individual, again, just trying to make sure that we collaborated. Uh, I just it was important for me to kind of take a step back and realize that we were working together as a team and we had to come up with these questions. So sometimes you kind of want to take charge, but it's important to work collaboratively and really decide what the next step would be as a group. Um, how would I apply this process with students or colleagues at our site? Again, just making sure that everybody has has understanding of how the process is going to work, and everybody has their role. So that way, everybody is supporting in their specific role. Right now, we are in this initial stage, which I feel like ultimately will guide us and give us that it will help us identify the specific roles that will support what each of us is expected to contribute to streamline the process a bit faster. And that concludes my reflection. Thank you.